All right, and we're going to we'll start with Ashley first.
Hello.
Hello.
Wanted to ask a question of Anthony first. Okay. Anthony, we see a lot of growth for Paul in season 3, becoming like a father figure to Adira, which I thought was incredibly sweet. In what ways will we see Paul grow in season 4?
I think you see Paul grow as an even better partner to Hugh. That's one of the big ways. And then he's really he gets tested in his ability to science his way out of things in a major way in season 4. So ability to collaborate, ability to, keep banging his head against the wall until he has a breakthrough. I think he's a little more accustomed to breakthroughs coming a little more easily. So it requires some growth to keep plugging away and peering into the abyss of despair.
Okay, and Bill?
Thanks. Hey, guys. A quick question for both Anthony and Wilson. So Stamets and Culber have been through a lot in the first few seasons.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Life, death, life.
Yeah, okay.
Do they finally get a chance to settle in this season and just enjoy the family dynamic for a little bit?
I think a little bit.
Yeah, I think because they're so strong in their relationship and they're so trusting of each other at this point because of what they've been through, that I think they're able to do their jobs better, but their jobs have become more complicated and more complex and harder to do. So I think Dr. Culber definitely finds himself needing to rely on Paul a lot more, and finding a way to allow himself to do that, because he's so busy taking care of everyone else that he forgets that he needs that too.
And I also I remember there's a scene in which Paul, I don't remember this happening much before, where Paul opens up about a professional issue in a way to usually he's like, I'm doing my thing and you're doing your thing, but he actually asks for some advice and help in a way. So there's all those these channels are more open, and it was already a good relationship, but it's even better now.
I think we have a deeper respect for each other.
Okay, and John?
And you see us at home more this season.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. A question for all three of you. By season 4, Discovery has been in the far future for maybe a year or more now. So now that they've settled in a little, what do each of your characters like best about the 32nd century? And for Blue, what does Adira like best about being aboard Discovery?
I want you to go first.
That's such a good question. I think for Adira, since they are from this time, I think that at the point that they were in their life before they boarded Discovery and joined these people, they would have done anything for a fresh start. And I think this is like the perfect fresh start. These are incredible human beings from a place and time that does not know Adira, that does not know what an Adira is. And I think that for them is kind of priceless.
I think that there's something really great about the holo technology for Stamets. He can do his work anywhere at any time. Yeah. That, I think, it's a little bit of a rabbit hole problem. There's one sequence this year where he's like, I think it's really easy for him, that much easier for him to get lost in his work, probably. So it's a bit of a, Occam's razor kind of thing. But I think that is just the gift of all gifts. At any point, you can just go, boop, and I'm doing my thing.
Yeah, I think for all of us, especially Dr. Culber, I think that when we meet these people, they are experts in their field. They are geniuses in their fields. That's why they're on this ship. And when they find themselves in this new future, they realize they don't know everything anymore, and there's so much more to learn. And so it gives us an opportunity to grow into ourselves, but also it's exciting, right? We would have never ever dreamt to have been in a time where we could access this kind of information and these new discoveries, and if no pun intended, but I think there's excitement in all of the knowledge that we can still learn in this new future.
And Sam?
Thank you.
This question's for Wilson and Blue. Coming off of season 3 was really kind of like a you had Dr. Culber, who had a bit of an identity crisis with the nature of his second lease on life. And then you've got Adira, who discovers they do have a place on the Discovery. How is it kind of picking up the baton from that empowerment and confidence and moving that into season 4?
I mean, I think what was great about season 3 was that Adira and I find ourselves on this planet, trying to figure out the burn, and we learn that we are capable of figuring it out. I lost my train of thought. So you go.
It's okay. It's been a long day.
It just went all the way out of my head.
Now you did it to me.
Let me help you down.
No. Wait, hang on. I have it.
I can't believe we melted down in the last one.
So oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Going into the new season with confidence. So how does that help launch you into what happens in season 4? Because of season 3, you had this nice, breakthrough
Yes.
and solidifying situation.
Thank you.
Yes.
That I think they're Adira. Yeah, does the first time you see Adira in season 3, they are incredibly confident, overconfident, arrogant, and they slowly have to open themselves up in season 3, but in season 4, I think that's elevated a bunch, and they really are not pushed but encouraged to kind of check their ego, check where their walls are up that don't need to be up, check why they're up in the first place, and see how far they can push their comfort zone, I think, for their benefit.
I remember what I was going to say now. So I think you're right. I think Culber did go through this identity crisis, right? But what this new future afforded him was a clean slate and a place to start over with this new body in this relationship that was now stronger and more secure, with a family, right? I think when he died, he wanted to create the life that he felt he deserved, and he finds that life literally in the future. And so that's what it supported him. Phew.
Thank you for bearing with them.
Sorry.
Thank you for bearing with them.
Thanks, Anthony.
Okay, we only have a minute left. Who else has a short question?
Oh, I did too.
Who wants to raise their hand?
Question.
Okay, John.
Tiny question.
Hi, Anthony. When season 3 ended, Stamets was not in a good place in terms of his feelings towards Michael. Does that get resolved in season 4? Do they have a falling out?
It's not really. I can say unequivocally, it's not a falling out. It was just a very, very, very intense moment, and I think it would be, it was extreme under extreme emotional circumstances. So. There's been some time and space around it. Doesn't mean it comes up in little ways, but Stamets is a forgiving and intelligent person. So, and they've been through so much together. So it's not a falling out in that sense. They didn't die; they're still here. So that helps him forgive.
That would have been a different story.
Yeah, it would have been a little different story if they'd actually died. Yeah.
Okay, Bill and Ashley, you have a question. Sorry, I have to pick. Ashley, go ahead.
Question for Blue. Could you elaborate on how Adira is coping with the knowledge that Gray is truly there, but is invisible to everyone else?
Coping with the knowledge. During season 3, it's really, really interesting with Adira, because I think I had to learn as episodes kept going. I thought at first it would be very much, of course, this is it's horrible. It's seeing your partner this way. That they're obviously, no matter what you say to them or how much you try to make their life comfortable, there's going to be some unhappiness there on Gray's end. And then as the season progressed and kind of going into season 4 without spoiling anything, it's interesting to see how dependent they then become on having that. And of course, Gray does have the independence where he can, leave me and not show himself to me if he needs to do that. But how much that hinders Adira, we do see that in season 3, and it's a lot. It's really heavy. So it's interesting how that changes, maybe in a selfish way a little bit for them, of how much they need Gray around and want Gray around for themselves.
They had to become accustomed to having him.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We are out of time, unfortunately. Thank you for joining us.